First things first, make sure this puppy's in good and tight, and we're going to go ahead and start our thread. I want that to be about a third of the way back, so we can go ahead and put on our pseudo eyes. Got a classic American Rooster hackle. This is the Whiting Farms. Looking for like a medium to small size feather here. Get two. We've got our first one. Go ahead and just one shank length down. Main thing with these is that you just get them both even. It doesn't matter precisely how far back they go. Just make sure both of them are nice and even. I end my thread right there where the barb of the hook is. Bring my thread forward. And then I'll go ahead and match my second feather on. You can tie both on at the same time or just one. Next up is large Cactus Hackle in pearl. This is going to create a flashy underbody and give you the fly a little bit of volume, more than if you just did straight bucktail, which is why I like it. You can do extra large on this size, which is a smaller one. I'll take large typically. First wrap around is most important. Just keep everything tight. And make sure it's tight for your first wrap. Go ahead and stroke all those little itsy bitsy guys backwards and keep wrapping. For the under, we're going to use a Kiptail or calf tail, whatever you want to call it. I like this on the smaller guys because it's a lot softer than typical bucktail, and I like bucktail on the bigger ones for sure, but tiny guys, typically I'll go with this Kiptail. And I usually put it about a third to maybe a half away down to the back of that feather there. So I'll hold it in one hand, chop the tips so they're all even and aligned, and then I don't wrap it around the dumbbell eye. I just tie it in the back here. Keeps the head, when we get to that part, super clean. And some of those are usually always fall out, which you can tie them back in if you want, or just discard them. That's up to you. When you tie them back in, as I just did, you can clip them, or you're going to have to clean up the dumbbell eyes, which that is what I'm going to do. So I get that all aligned right. Pull out any fibers that aren't tied in. Cleaned up the head, and now you're going to get some fluoro fiber, hot pink. Pull out a couple strands, maybe 2 dozen, and we're going to tie that in right in half. I'm going to pull my thread towards the eye of the hook to jam those up against the eye, and then I'm going to fold it in half, tie down on that. It's going to create a real thick throat, and we're going to add some super glue to lock all that into place. After I trim it a little bit, it's a bit long for me. Now, super glue, lock it all in place so that little pink hot spot isn't going to be rolling around anywhere. The calf tail is going to stay in place pretty good. And we're almost done. Next step is going to be olive bucktail. And this is the whole tail. I've used a fair chunk of it already. But for this style, half and half, those real skinny ones, we're going to go and use some of the bucktail from the tips, because that does not flare as much as the stuff from the bottom. It's not hollow, so it sticks straight better. So we've got our cuts, and I usually make the top of it about as long as the tails on these tiny guys, because I'm not looking for a super long profile. Cut those at an angle so it's not gonna go crazy in the eye of my hook, and I'm gonna be able to get each individual bucktail strand tied down well. And then just clean up the head, do a few more wraps, whip finish, and solar res. Last part of this sucker, this is going to make it a little bit heavier, and it will also make it last a little bit longer for the teeth and things that you typically get munching on these guys. With the UV light, and that's it. That's the real skinny half and half. It's not quite a clouser, not quite a full-on half and half that has the super long feathers that you'd normally expect. But this guy, really good minnow imitation, just a generic small fish.